today I'm going to give a book intro along with a book review. The book I'm going to review is DK's Find Out Ancient Egypt book. So this book is full of amazing facts about the Egyptian culture. Let me open this book. So you have some quizzes here. So what was put inside the canopic jars? Most of the kings or pharaohs' internal organs will be put inside this canopic jars to preserve them for their afterlife. And who was the vizier? And what are hieroglyphs? These are some of the quizzes that was given here, and the answers will be given somewhere else. The answer is here, given here. When you just flip this, look into this, right? It is so interesting, and this is the timeline of the ancient Egypt. So look into this, everything is very interesting. This is just the summary thing of ancient Egypt. We are coming into this. You have the contents 64, that means the pages are given here. And next, so the first one is the ancient Egypt. So ancient Egypt, they have given the fact file of the ancient Egypt. There are many kingdoms, old kingdom, new kingdom and modern kingdom. Everything was given here just as a fact file, so that people will not get confused which pharaoh was being mentioned in which thing. And even Romans also ruled this ancient Egypt, not ancient Egypt, somehow they ruled from 3100 BC and sometime like that. And this was I don't know correctly, this was a fake Nefertiti statue that was somehow it was ruined. I don't know about this, but it was the statue of a Nefertiti. Nefertiti was King Ramses II's queen. King Ramses II second, not two, I shouldn't be mentioning like that. King Ramses II was one of the most important ruler of ancient Egypt. And how the society of ancient Egypt was there, it was like their own pyramid. So the farmers are at the foundation, and over them the craftsmen and the merchants, and over them, up above them, they were the scribes who helped the kings in writing their decrees and other sorts of administration works. And the soldiers were given many high rankings, and they have the status in the social hierarchy. And viziers and the priests and priestess, or like oracle, like some people, they are all very important to the pharaoh. So is a sort of a river map. Look into this, it's very beautifully illustrated. And look into this. So the Egyptian empire was built around the river Nile. Okay, the river Nile is very, very important for them. And just look into this. So these were the people who the Egyptians encountered. The Hittites, they always have a war with these Hittites, and sometimes they go with the peace with them. And the Assyrians, maybe I think they were from Syria, something like that. And then the Hyksos, I don't know, I'm not pronouncing it the correct way. Then this is the pyramids. This is where it was the pyramids mostly near the river Nile. And this is the Sphinx. It was one of the King Khafre's guardian statue. And next you have the Libyans living near them, and the Egyptians were living this way, and the Nubians, right? And so this is where it was given here. The Egyptian empires was shown here this way. This is the total Egyptian empire. And let's get into the next page. So soldiers and war, Tutankhamun. Next page. This is soldiers and war. This is Tutankhamun, the king who died during the battle. These are the other pharaohs. Khufu, Akhenaten, he is totally villainic for Egyptian people. I don't know why it is. And next is the being gloomy king, Senwosret. And next is the known for the treasures, that is Tutankhamun, and he or she, I don't know, that it was a woman king. And next one is This is King Ramses the Great, and he is a warrior king and has more than 100 sons and daughters, and his name is carved in most of the Egyptian stones. Next, this is it was just like a fun fact about the Queen Cleopatra. Just like it was like an interview with Cleopatra. What was your childhood like? Did you expect to become Pharaoh then? These were all some of the questions, like you are interviewing her and she is answering to your questions. And next one is how the pyramids are made. So the building blocks, like the stones, were cut into this actual size, and they were just
this is the Great Pyramid at Giza.
Excuse me. Yeah, that was the Giza pyramid, and the stones were cut and they were just taken through the rolling heaves. And then this one is the limestone, and over the top you have the electrum, which was the mixture of a gold and silver. This way they used to build the pyramids, but there are some mysteries. Even now the architectural archaeologist still doesn't understand some of the architectural things. And next one, this is how they make the mummy. So Anubis is the one who Anubis is the first god who made a mummy, that means embalming. So he was the jackal god. So whenever this mummy making process is only done by the priest or the priestess. So while they are doing the mummification process, they used to wear a jackal face mask.
Anubis is a jackal god.
What did he do?
He prepares the first mummy on the Osiris body.
Oh.
The brain was not important, so they just put a hook into the nose and removed the brain.
Right. After that, what will they do?
They will wash the body. They will take all the organs.
Oh.
And they will wash the body with sweet oil.
Okay. Then?
Sweet smelling oil. Then they will put bags of nut and salt and wait for 40 days, and they will ready for the next stage.
Okay, next.
Backup
will be done.
Okay,
next.
The nail finger and toe finger were covered in thin sheets of gold.
Then what next?
Next, they wrapped the body thin strips of
Gold.
thin strip. They will cover the body with linen sheets and bandages.
So this is the journey of the dead. Once Anubis prepares the mummy, then they will go. Their spirit will go to the gods. There they have to do with their negative confession, and then there you have a way. That is the feather of justice. If your heart goes down, that means you are sinned. So that this animal in the hell will eat your heart. That means you are dead. That means Ammut is the animal that will eat your heart. If you are very good, if you have a very good heart, then you can pass the test, and then you can go to your afterlife, which is your paradise, and you can take any form. If you are very good and you enter the paradise, that means your body and spirit can come and attain its body. That means your spirit can come and attain the body in the earth. So this is the bod which is hovering over its mummy. So this is the sarcophagus. Just look into this. This was the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun's mummy. So this is Tutankhamun's mummy. Over that you have the golden coffin, and over that golden coffin you have the wooden coffin, and over that wooden coffin you will again have the golden coffin, which was covered with a face mask, which is totally made of gold. So that's why tomb raiders are there. And coming to the next thing, it is the tour of the tombs. You have we have each cube for men and women in the same way. The pharaohs and their pharaoh queens, noble men and noble ladies will have their tombs in different areas. So such areas will be called as a Queen Valley and King Valley. So this is the throne of Tutankhamun. Let's get into the civilians of Egypt. Their home model is like this. Once you enter the home, you will be having some necessary items there, and this one is a mysterious place. We don't know, they might be using it as a bed or some sort of a sit out or pray or something, we don't know. And then after that you can go here. This is the place where they keep the statues of their ancestors and they do their prayer. And here so this is the third one, that is a fake door, which means their ancestors might come through this door and they get into the statue. This was their belief. And this is like a living room. There people used to have a sit out like this here, and they can do this. And below, this is the cellar. They used to store their grains and other sort of things, which is very valuable things, and or all sorts of things are stored under the cellar. And next you have to enter this way, and this was a storeroom like option they used to have. And then over this you can come here. This one is and this one this is where their their grains will be grounded. And then over that you have the homemade oven. And next, if you come to the upstairs, you have the reed mats. People used to chill out here. This is the food enjoyed by the normal civilians, and the food enjoyed by the noble people and the pharaohs. So they will have a cucumber, bread, and some fruits, and radish and spring onions. These were the normal food of the ancient Egyptian civil people. And this was the food of this is the royal food: yogurt, honey, lotus fruit, dates, figs, pomegranate, melons, cake, meat. Everything was definitely the part of the rich people's diet. And next, animals. These are the animals still present in Egypt. And even the pet of the pharaohs was mummified. They have the tomb for them. It was the game. You can play this board game. This is like a board game. You can use this, and my son is calling me to play this game. And next, this is the hieroglyphs. This was the hieroglyphs in the ancient Egypt. Right. So there are many mysterious things too. I just want to avoid those things. And this is a glossary. So in total, this book is totally fantabulous and interesting, along with its pictures. So it's definitely worth a buy.